So you want to declutter your home, but you just don't know where or how to start. Maybe you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed in your own home and you want to have more peace and more relaxation. Or maybe you're just having a really hard time keeping up on your household tasks and you'd like to find a way to make them a little bit easier. Today, I have 7 tips to share with you that will help you to get started decluttering your home. Now, I want to be really clear here. I am not perfect at these, but I know that they work when I do implement them. So the first one is probably the most important, and it is to find out your why. Why do you want to declutter your home? What do you want your home to look like and feel like? And one of my favorite questions that has to do with finding out your why is, what are you going to gain rather than what are you going to lose? Because often we sometimes think that we're decluttering, we're losing all this stuff, right? So for myself, I wanted to have more peace in my home. I want to feel less stressed. I wanted to feel less overwhelmed. I wanted to feel like I had more time to spend doing the things that I wanted to do, rather than spending so much time always cleaning, always moving things around, putting things away. Having less stuff definitely has helped to improve all of those. So the next question is, where do I start? How do I get started? I think that probably one of the best tips is to just start with something super easy and give yourself a really quick win, something that just you get it done and it feels really good. So this could be really easy, simple locations like a junk drawer, a sock drawer, maybe just a drawer in your bathroom. Maybe you just want to declutter some lipsticks, or maybe you want to declutter purses. Even if you just get rid of one item. You could also start with the space that is bothering you the most. Now that could just be drawers in your kitchen, that could be your closet in your bedroom, that could be under your sink in your bathroom. But just remember to take small chunks and not to do it maybe all at once, because you will probably wear yourself out if you do too much at once. Another idea of where to start is maybe to just get a trash bag and to go around your house and just pick up any trash that you find. Now this is how Dana K. White starts her no mess decluttering method, and it's really a great method if you wanted to give it a try. I do have a video where I tried that in my own home. I will leave that link down below if you are interested in watching that. And to go along with that is to start out with just small amounts of time. And I would highly recommend that maybe you only start with just 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but really 5 minutes added up over time can really make a big difference. And in 5 minutes, you can definitely get rid of at least one thing, maybe even 2, maybe even more. Sometimes I just don't want to get started. So if I set myself a 5-minute timer, I know that in 5 minutes I could be done, and 5 minutes is like nothing really. But often I find that I'm really actually enjoying it, or I'm feeling like I'm getting something done, like I'm being productive, and I'll want to keep going, which is great. And often that's what happens, is we just want to keep going. But I would highly recommend that you don't do more than maybe 30 minutes or so a day for the first little bit, because you really do not want to wear yourself out. You start getting decision fatigue, which means that you're having to make so many little decisions that you just feel like you can't make them anymore. You know, jumping into decluttering and spending maybe like a whole weekend or hours of decluttering can be exhausting. Let me just throw out an example here. Say you want to learn how to play the piano. Do you just go ahead and jump in and spend hours upon hours upon hours trying to just be a pro at it? Well, no, you don't. You start with little bits at a time, right? And as you do that, what you're doing is you're building muscle memory. And it's the exact same thing with decluttering. If you get started and you just do little bits at a time, they add up, and you are building that decluttering muscle, making it stronger, and it makes it easier over time. Another great idea to get started decluttering is what we call body doubling. Now, this basically means that you just have somebody else there with you to motivate you, to help you. I mean, you can have somebody actually physically with you and helping you through it, or just somebody that's with you working alongside of you doing something else. Or it doesn't even mean that they have to physically be there. You can turn on a podcast and listen to somebody who is motivating you to do it. You can have on your TV screen or on your phone, you can have a YouTube video up kind of like this one, to get yourself motivated. But when I started decluttering, actually that was one of the biggest things for me to help, was to have a video on of somebody else decluttering or talking me through it. And it was super, super helpful to get started. If you're finding this video helpful, I would love for you to tell me about it in the comments. What so far has resonated with you? Have you tried any of these? What has helped you to get started? Or what do you think would help you? So the next tip is to maybe focus more on what you want to keep rather than what you want to get rid of. I often fall into the trap of looking through my items and saying, I don't want this, I want this out, I want this out, I want this out. But maybe it would be a good idea to look at things and say, I want to keep this, this, and this. But for example, maybe you're decluttering your clothes in your closet, but as of right now, you have way too many clothes. They cannot fit in your closet. So you start by picking out the ones that you want to keep the most. Maybe they're items that you know you wear every day, that you feel really comfortable in and good in. And then maybe after that, it might be easier to look at all the other stuff and say, I don't really need that. Those things don't make me feel good. Those things don't fit well, whatever it is. But that's just an example. You can use that with any kind of decluttering. Even when you're decluttering, say your kitchen items, is the same thing. Maybe you grab this knife and you say, this is the knife that I like to use every single day. And maybe you have a couple other knives that you just don't use very often. So afterwards you could be like, oh, okay, well, I really want this one, but I don't need to keep this one because I already have a really great knife. For the next tip here, this is hopefully helpful for not becoming overwhelmed or having too much, decision fatigue, and that is to take breaks. So maybe say you do want to have 30 minutes of a session that you want to get decluttering done. So maybe after 10 minutes, you go and you take a break. 10 minutes, you get a snack, you get a drink. I often find that really helpful just in general. If say for example, I have to sit down and edit one of these videos, sometimes I'll sit there for hours and hours and I just think, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. I need to do better because it does help when I get up and I just take 10 minutes. I go sit down. I can even sit down and just take a break scrolling on my phone if that's what I want to do. I like to sit down and take a break playing a song or two on the piano, and also taking a break to do some of the household chores because those need to get done too. And it's just, I get up and I'm getting myself moving and doing something different. It just helps to refocus my brain when I'm ready to go back. And if you do find yourself getting overwhelmed and you are getting decision fatigue, just go ahead and stop. Stop for the day, stop for the week, however long you need to take a break, just go ahead and stop. But maybe try to notice yourself starting to feel that overwhelm and starting to feel that decision fatigue so that you can finish up what you've started before you completely need to be done. You don't want to be left with piles all around your house. Have your donation box all filled up and take it to your car so that you have it for when you need to go and drop it off to the donation center. Or take that trash bag and take it right out to the trash instead of leaving it in your house just sitting there. The next tip is to try not to compare yourself to others and where they are in their decluttering journey. Decluttering is basically a lifelong thing. We can get to a point where you can maintain it and it's not as hard as doing the initial process, right? We all have different situations. We all have different ideas of what decluttering means. So just be kind to yourself. Try not to be too hard on yourself. I know that I do it often. I'm talking to myself here for sure. But I know that you and I can both be successful in decluttering our homes. And if you'd like to keep watching, go ahead and click on the video that I've left for you right here. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.